So glad you're back. Okay, so in some of my videos, we have talked about the importance of science and the things that science teaches you, like being patient and organized and to persevere if you mess up or something, you can keep trying again. And we've also talked about how water is heavier than oil. Well, we're going to do another activity that has oil, water, and food coloring, but we have something new. We have an Alka-Seltzer, an antacid tablet. Okay, so before we get started, moms and dads, this is what you're going to need if you want to do this activity at home. You're going to need some oil. We're going to use two different kinds and we're going to see which one works better. I've got vegetable oil and then I've got baby oil. I also have 2 jars because we're going to compare. Some food coloring, some water, and an antacid tablet. I also brought my measuring cup because I want you all to measure with me. Okay. So, this activity is going to cause a chemical reaction. Remember when we was doing the milk experiment yesterday, the milk had a chemical reaction to the soap. The soap was trying to attach itself to the fat molecules in the milk. So it had a chemical reaction. Well, this is going to have a chemical reaction also. So to get started, I'm not going to measure the oil. I'm just going to measure the water. But if I was going to do this with my children at home, I would hunt up some measuring cups and see and count, do math with the boys and girls. But what you're going to do is you're going to fill up a jar about 3/4 of the way full of oil. And since I want to compare which works better, the vegetable oil, I'm also going to fill this jar up with baby oil. Okay. And I probably should have taken the whole top off instead of just leaving the little bitty tiny hole. Boys and girls, why do you think it's taking so long to fill that? Do you think if I had taken this off, it would have filled the jar quicker? Okay, so that one's empty. And I'm going to finish filling this. And I'm going to fill it again just 3/4 of the way full with the baby oil. That looks pretty good. Okay. So I'm going to move this right here. Now, I have my measuring cup. I only have the one measuring cup. So that's why I'm only doing the water. But boys and girls, I want you to look at these numbers on my measuring cup. This number right here, you can't see it very well, but this is 1 cup of water. And we're going to see if 1 cup of water fills the top, or if it's too much, or if we need more. So let's see. We're going to fill it just below this lip of the jar. Okay, boys and girls, so I want you to look. This was where we started. We started at 1 cup. It's kind of hard to see. Maybe if I do it like this, you can see better. We have 1 cup of water. But now we subtracted, we took away 1/2 cup of water. So let's see if the other jar uses the other 1/2 cup of water. didn't need as much. Now it's at 1/4 a cup of water. Okay. Let me put my notes down. Okay, boys and girls. So now here comes part of the fun part. I've got some food coloring. I'm going to drop it in here, and I want you to see what happens. Remember, water is heavier than oil. And you can't tell very well on this one, but remember, we only use that much water. And do you see where the blue is? Because the water is heavier than the oil, all this clear stuff up here, this is the baby oil. And this part's the water. And look at how the food coloring is kind of exploding down there at the bottom. Okay, you can probably see it better with the vegetable oil. We'll see. We'll see if that makes a difference. Okay, let's drop the food coloring in. Look, do you see it dropping? Do you see how the food coloring drops? It's going through the oil, and then let's see what happens. Let's see what it does down here at the water. Do you see how this part down here is clear? That's because the water, it was at the top, but it's heavier. So now it went down to the bottom. Let's see what it's doing. This is part of being patient. You have to wait and see what happens. I don't see it dropping. Do you, boys and girls? It did in the baby oil. I wonder why that is. Why do you think it dropped quicker? Look! Do y'all see it? It's kind of like fireworks in the jar. Have y'all seen that activity? We're kind of doing two at one. Do you see how the food coloring is made up of water? So it's heavier than the oil. It just took a little bit longer to drop. Isn't that so cool? Okay. So that's just part of what we're doing. That's just a little bit. Okay. So this is the fun part, boys and girls. Let me move my stuff so you can really see what's going to happen. Okay, do you see how the bottom part is blue? That was the water. And you can see in this one, part of the red, it's starting. There! Do you see it? It's exploding. Isn't that so cool? And then I still see a little bit of the food coloring up here, and it's going to make its way down to the bottom because it's heavy. Look how cool is that? It's like it's exploding and bursting. Okay, so here's the fun part. These little antacid tablets, there are 2 in them. And because I have 2 jars, I'm going to put 1 in each of them. So I want you to watch and see what happens. Okay, y'all ready? Okay. Oh, let's see what, oh, look. Do you see it? Do you see the chemical reactions? Yeah, it's bubbling, and those bubbles are carbon dioxide gases that's erupting, and it's making the blobs of colors go up. So we're doing chemistry, a type of science, when we're doing these activities. Okay, now I want you to think while you're watching. How else could we change these lava jars? Could we change the different types of oils? Could we go out and maybe get olive oil or canola oil? Look at that. Isn't that cool? I see. That is really cool. Could we maybe add more water and less oil and see what happened? Could we do different colors? Would it change it? Okay, what do you think would happen if we didn't have oil at all? What do you think would happen if it was just the water and the food coloring and the antacid tablets? I want you to think about these things. And if you do these, hold on. If you do these activities at home, I want you to think about all these things. Isn't that cool? These are all fun activities to do. But when you're doing these things, these are helping you to learn and to be really great thinkers. And that's what you need to do to be successful, to do really well. And you all are so smart. You all do some really great thinking. So when you're at home, I want you to send us pictures or videos of you doing these fun activities. Because we want to see you, because we miss you, but we want to share what you're learning. Tell us what you see and what you notice. We would love that. Okay, I hope y'all like it.